getting hotter and hotter in my country, so it's really annoying to me because I can stand being outside for like more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, of course. So you can say it's baking hot. It's boiling. As you can guess, today's topic is weather. So we're going to talk about weather. Okay, so the first word, it's when it's extremely hot. So of course you can say it's scorching, but scorching is really good. But we also say it's boiling or it's baking hot. So it's baking hot is fryals, boiling, baking hot. So it's really hard to stay out for a long time. Okay, well, so let's get started. Okay, about the weather. So tell me about the weather in your country. I want to know. So first of all, what is the weather like in your country?
Well, I think that weather in my country divided into two types, hot and cold. And to be honest, I love when it's getting colder and colder. But the cold only lasts about 3 or 4 months a year, and the rest of the year it's about cool and hot. And the hot lasts for, I think it's 4 or 5 months. And
Yeah.
the hot in my country is getting really annoying because it's dry. No, it's a little bit humid and hot, so it's really bad for our skin. Or yeah.
Yeah, of course, very good. So it's you want to say hot or very warm and humid. So you can say it's muggy. So it's muggy means very warm or hot and humid. So as I know, you have two seasons in your country. One is dry and one is rain. So you have dry season and you have rain season. Am I right?
mm, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So tell me about, first of all, do you like the weather in your country? Because that's, this is the most important question, if you like it or no.
mm, well, to be honest, I don't really um well, to be honest, I detest the weather in my country, but I have no other choice because I get used to it for many years, and I think I will continue to bear it for a long
Yeah,
time.
of course. So it's something like, you get frustrated that, you have maybe sometimes many rainy days, of course, because, and, but, of course you have good weather, so sunny days. And of course, I think most of the time in the year, so you have sunny days. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
there is no cloud in the sky. So. Okay, so let's ask about your mood. So I think maybe weather can affect our mood. So first of all, do you agree with it? And tell me how you feel in sunny and rainy days.
Well, I do agree that uh, people can totally change their attitude towards the weather, or yeah, what they feel about outside. And actually, I love rainy days. I always think that rainy makes the weather more much cooler, and it's like refreshing all the things outside. Um, and I love rain, but not the storm or the flood.
Yeah, of course. So you think that it's like, therapeutic. So we say when something actually like motivate us, is something like a therapy. Like, for example, especially rain, I think relaxing. So we can say that is therapeutic. So let me write it here. So it's like it's like a therapy. So it's therapeutic. So especially, you know, uh, sometimes we see some videos on, I don't know, social medias like Instagram or YouTube, rain falling, and you can actually listen the sound of the rain hitting the roof or something like this. So actually, when rain falls or hits something with a lot of force and you can hear the sound, we can say it's battering down. So I like when battering down, when, it's falls and hits, for example, something, it can be a roof or like something with a lot of force. So I like that. It's something like the sound of rain is a therapy. It's relaxing. So I like when it's battering down. Okay, well, now let me ask another question. Just I want to know about the best season and when if I want to visit your country. Okay, what is the best season to travel to your country and why?
Mm, I guess people find it most beautiful when it's come to the spring, especially from January to March. I think it is the most beautiful time in my country because it is spring. It is the springtime, so uh, it comes the proliferation of flower, the trees, or everything's outside, and at that time, the sky it's really beautiful because it's clear and really blue. Um, yeah, and I would recommend to any foreigners to come to my country at that time.
Yeah, of course. So when flowers start blossoming, so of course, when to start blossoming, I think the best maybe season and the best time to visit somewhere. Of course, I do agree with you. So you can see plants blossom. So you can use this verb, okay, blossom, when flower actually grows and you can see, especially in spring, so you can see blossoms. So, and you can also use as a verb. So when flowers or plants start blossoming or blossom. So that's really beautiful, picturesque scenery, and you can visit my country. And let's talk about the weather. So just first of all, that's really important. Let's learn some words to describe weather. Of course, hot, humid, wet, they are common words that we use. But you know that when we say hot, we have different degrees. If it's too hot, normal, for example, not really. So as I told you, very hot, so hot, boiling, baking hot, or baking or scorching. They are oils actually words that you can use. Now, when you want to say it's cold, so we have different degrees, okay, from the coldest, okay, and maybe the least cold. When we say it's very cold, of course, you know that it's freezing. So freezing is the first one, very cold. Okay, and after that, the second step, when it's not freezing but extremely cold, we can say it's bitterly cold. Bitterly cold, the second one. And after that is cold. So if freezing, bitterly cold, and now we have another actually degrees. Maybe it's actually goes down to nippy and quite chilly. Okay, and the last one is cool. So cool weather is not really cold. I think it's good. Now, when we want to say that it's wet, okay, wet, of course, the first word is humid, wet or humid. But you can also say, especially when it's hot and humid, you say muggy, as I told you, or it's damp. It's damp. It's wet. So, okay, well, and now there is another phrase, soaking wet, especially when you talk about your clothes. Let me show you something. If I can find it. There are many photos. Ah, look. Soaking wet.
Oh.
I am soaking wet because I was walking in the rain. So when you get wet, especially your clothes, so I am soaking wet, or I was. Okay, so you can use the word be. It means extremely wet because you were in the rain for a long time, maybe. So this one, okay. Well, and now when you want to say that the sky is not bright, you know, it's something like no sunshine. So the first one, cloudy, you know, it's cloudy. So it's really good one. And you know, the next one is like overcast. Overcast means cloudy again. So cloudy, overcast. So this one is. And we have when the sky is not bright and it's cold, you know, sometimes it's not bright and it's cold. You can say that it's gloomy. So it's gloomy means not bright and cold. And you know, foggy, that's really okay. So we have different degrees. So it can be overcast, cloudy, gloomy. And you know, when it's dismal, it's, I don't know, it's not good weather, not nice. It's cold, gloomy, so dismal, not nice, or gloomy, or cold, something like this, weather that you really don't like it. So it's not good. Well, okay, so this is about this one. Now, let's talk about rain. Of course, you have lots of rain in your country. First of all, the verb you get or you have. You get a lot of rain in your country or your city, and sometimes you can have showers. Do you have any idea about showers?
Yeah, like it's rain a lot, so uh, we get wet.
Yeah, it's something like for a short period of time. And you know, it's something like unpredictable, something like it's okay, but suddenly start rains, and of course
Oh,
it finishes after a short period of time, maybe about 20 minutes, and after that it's over. So we frequently have, you can say, showers. So the verb, if you have, okay, so you can say, or we get a lot of rain. So get or, well. And now we have heat wave. That is really important. It's connected to the sun. You know, sometimes it's a long period of intense heat. For example, 2 or 3 days, you have extremely hot weather. So you say it's heat waves. So everything is actually out of control when it's heat wave. Heat waves means long periods of intense heat. So maybe 2 or 3 days, maybe 1 week. So it's, wow. And rain, of course, when it's pouring down, you know that pouring down or pouring. Pouring means when it rains, large drops and lot of force. Large drops and lot of force. And the opposite of it is drizzle. You know, light rain. A light rain and, you know, just small drops. So maybe you can walk. When it's drizzling, you can walk in the rain because actually it's enjoyable. Well, this is about this one. And of course, we have wind, typhoon, storm. So we're not going to talk about it. Just let's say something about snow. Just let me ask you a question. So tell me, do you have a snowy country?
No, and I have never and I have uh and I never have a chance to see nose in real life. And yeah, I it's my dream. It's been my dream for a long time that I can experience that, because I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's really interesting and it's really beautiful. Of course, it's really beautiful. So I think, so tell me, when is the time that the weather is mild? Not cold, not hot. The best time. Maybe it's mild,
I think it's about uh, I think it's about before the summer for a month. Um, it's exactly in May. It's not really cold, but it's not really hot, and I think it's kind of pleasure.
Yeah, of course, very good. Well, and tell me about different parts, of course, different areas maybe. Is the weather the same in all parts of your country?
No. I live in Hanoi City, which is the weather is kind of pleasure to the majority of people. But I live in the north of Vietnam. But for the weather of the south of Vietnam, uh, the weather there is always hot, and the weather is always hot and dry. But it's not really boiling hot in Hanoi. In my area, in summer, my area it's like a bit hot and dry. So
So you want me to finish your sentence?
I
So
think that, um,
you want to
but
say that
never,
there are, yeah, you want to say that there
yeah.
are some quite marked regional differences. So it depends on the region. So you can say there are some maybe quite marked regional differences. So it depends the area, maybe mild in some spots, high temperature in another place, so or another area. So it depends where to live. So if you live in north, of course, it's different from maybe south. Okay. So sometimes maybe in some areas, so you have, I don't know, you have drought, but in some actually other areas, it's like, not a snow, but rain. So it depends. Okay, well, and tell me about the problems, if there is. Are there any problems with the climate in your country?
Mm, well, yeah. It's not happened in my area, but in the north of my country, there are frequently storm, flood, and other nature disaster happen all the time. Um, so I think I feel really bad for them because of the frequent nature disaster, their life and their uh, work uh, are not so good because they get interrupted all the time.
Yeah,
So yeah, so frequently, like once a year, we we usually send them a little bit donation, maybe money or food
yeah.
or clothes. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course. So you want to say that, yeah, in some areas, of course, not your city. So it seems like people have experienced more maybe violent storms and torrential rain. So this one. So storm and torrential rain means very heavy. So that can cause flooding. So, okay, so it can cause, torrential rain can cause flooding. It's extremely heavy rain. And is it predictable or unpredictable? I want to know that actually climate change or, the weather in your country is predictable or no, unpredictable?
It's predictable.
So spread, so you can predict if it's sunny or rainy, so it's not something like, suddenly, a sudden change. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, so tell me, of course, we talked about, our mood, that, the weather can affect actually the way that we feel. Okay, so, and tell me, uh, so when it's sunny, it's heat waves. And for example, for 3 or 4 days, it's actually extremely hot, so you can't go out. Okay, what do you normally do to change your mood?
Hmm. Well, normally I could prefer staying at home and stay in air conditioned room to do everything I want because I find much pleasure than going outside to do anything.
Yeah, of course. Well, so, and you wait, actually, you wait because this one is good. You can use it. You can say that I wait for a break in the weather. Break in the weather means a change from not pleasant to pleasant. So when we say actually break in the weather, it means change from unpleasant to more pleasant weather. So if, for example, it's sunny or it's rainy all day, so I wait for a break in the weather. Okay, so you wait for it. Well, okay. And now let me ask another question. Okay. Well, so tell me about people in your country when it's extremely hot, the days that it's extremely hot, it's sunny, and people need to go to work. How do people in your country deal with, maybe extremely hot weather?
Well, because the majority of Vietnamese people use motorbike as their as like the most favorable vehicles, so they tend to wear like sun protection, like jackets, like the jacket, and they would cover all the body by glasses, mask, and jacket in order to deal with it. So it's pretty funny to see outside when people all dress like ninja to protect their skin from the sun.
Yeah, they look like, because they were, like mask or something like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Well, some foreigners, like tourist foreigners, may find that it a bit weird or funny to see that, but it's completely normal in here
Yeah.
because, yeah, they prefer to be, mm, well, yeah. So they tend to protect and cover all the body to deal with that. And I think there's no other choice for them.
Yeah, of course. I know. So they need to, as I realized, they need to wear mask and, maybe breathable clothes. So just
Yeah.
let me, a fabric or clothes. So yeah, breathable clothes made of breathable fabric that, actually it's something like when we say something, a fabric or clothes, is actually breathable, air is still able to like circulate, you know, and so that actually it's not really, it doesn't get wet, especially in actually, you know, hot weather or something like this. So it's really important to wear some appropriate suitable clothes for this weather, that's breathable clothes, and of course they need to wear masks. So that's interesting. That's really interesting. But I think it's difficult, yeah? Because, you know, when it's hot and you wear a mask, it should be really difficult. It's, I don't know, make you feel really uncomfortable. Do you agree? It's just, you know, it's really hot. And I think it's really difficult to wear masks, especially when it's sunny, you know? It's really difficult. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so different weather. Yeah, of course. Well, okay. The next question. So we're gonna talk about another part. So weather. Just let me check if I told you. Yeah, I think there are some idioms about weather. Of course, I'm not gonna talk about it because they don't have the meaning related to weather. For example, we have an idiom like "take a rain check." Do you know the meaning of this idiom?
No, but can you repeat that? I want to guess.
Yeah, of course. To take a rain check. Do you have any idea about the meaning of this idiom? So, because we normally use it.
Like to check everything before getting out, or
No, that's not, definitely not. You know, that's really interesting because, you know, all the idioms are really different from the way that we write, the way that we write them and the word that we use. Okay, so to take a rain check means, for example, someone asks you for, I don't know, going out, hanging out, your friend, or for example, your family member or someone else. You want, but you can't. For example, I say, what do you think about going out and doing something together tonight? You say, I like it, but unfortunately, I planned something else before, so I can't. Let's do it later. So you want to accept, but you can't, and you want to do it later. So you can say, can I take a rain check? Can I take, it means, can we do it later? So this is
oh,
the meaning, yeah, of course. So it's really useful because we normally use it. But when you hear someone says, can I take a rain check? It means this person wants to accept your invitation, but they can't. So they asked for actually daily doing it later. So can I take a rain check? Can we do it later? And the next one, come rain or shine, or native said rain or shine. So both of them are usable, come rain or shine. What it means, whatever happens, no matter, something will happen. For example, oh, we will hold the party at a weekend, come rain or shine. It means no matter what happens, we will hold the party. So come rain or shine means no matter, okay? Whatever happens, we will do something, okay? So, for example, we will go out tomorrow, come rain or shine, or rain or shine. That is whatever happens. So there's two idioms related to the weather. Okay, so any questions so far?
no.
Okay, let's move on to the second part of speaking, part two. So I asked you this question, but now we're going to talk about it in detail. So let me write it. Describe your favorite season. You should say,
Okay, I'm ready.
Of course, small
Uh,
ears.
yeah. So today I'm excited to tell you about my favorite time of the year, which is the winter, which lasts for for 4 months, from November to February. I love it when it started to feel a bit chilly to when it's really freezing outside. The more freezing, the more I love about the weather. In winter, my skin as well as my hair don't get really oily, so it stay good on my face all the time. And during winter, I love to hang out with my friends, to get some warm drink like warm chocolate, for like hot chocolate or hot coffee, and we and what is more popular is the street food. It's really pleasure in winter to have some warm thing, uh, to for one thing, and I think it's an incredible experience ever. And because I believe that because I was born in winter, so I easily deal with the cold. So, and I think that's the reason why winter it's my time of it's like top of the year, and therefore, whenever I started feeling like winter to come, I start feel more motivated, and uh, and more pleasure, and I started to love my life more.
Yeah, very good. So your favorite one is winter. So first of all, from the beginning, let's talk about it. Yeah, that was really good. And you mentioned actually the month. That was really good. But the other phrase, that the better phrase that you can say it covers. So for example, my favorites, okay, when it comes to, of course it's difficult maybe, but when it comes to maybe favorite season, I guess I would go for winter. So I would like to. This one. It covers the month of, for example, this month and this month. Okay, so you can use this phrase. So the first one I'd go for, and it covers which months? Okay, the month of, okay, then you can add. Okay, so this is, and of course, it's actually the time of year that I was born, you know? So at the beginning, mention it. It actually the time of year I was born. So this is the beginning. That was really good. Of course, as you said, so there is no snow. So, but you know, the weather is cool. It's mild. So actually, it's good to go out. So you can see something like that. Was the rest of it was really good. But you know, you can say that, for example, I spend maybe the colorful days or month of, for example, fall days or month. Okay, looking forward to the first signs of winter. You know, as you can say that, you know, for example, as the season and the life and the nature, you know, changes. So you can say something like this. And of course, there is no snow because if you had, we could, you know, if you had, we would talk about snow more and more because there is no snow. So I'm not going to talk about this one. Okay. Well, So the quality, the weather gradually improves, week by week, actually during the season, and it's not too cold so that you can actually do some just, outdoor activities. Just mention if you'd rather do indoor or outdoor activities. So that's really important to mention this one. And just I couldn't get, why it's your favorite season. Just, I didn't get the last part. And it's about the typical activities, people, maybe you can mention it. I didn't get this part, I'm not sure. Just, you said, but it was like a brief explanation. So I think if you add more details, it would be better. Yeah, of course, it would just, a bit, not too much, but, a bit more. But that will be really great. Well, this one, that was really good. Okay, and now, and you can say if it's, for example, if it's off season or it's shoulder season, so you can mention this one because we have peak season, off season, and shoulder season. Let me say, okay, peak season, off season, shoulder season. Of course, you know the meaning of this. For example, for the people who don't like to be in crowd, for example, especially if in some countries, peak season is really crowded, lots of tourists visit the country. So it's actually the season that people like to travel and visit somewhere. Off season, no one, of course, visits. It's like, not good weather to actually properly want to visit somewhere. Shoulder season between these two periods. So it's between peak and off season is shoulder season. The period of time between actually regions, peak season and off season. So I think sometimes can be the best time to travel because of course you don't say, you can say that I would like to maybe, I don't know, get away from the crowd. So I'd rather travel or, for example, go out in shoulder season or, for example, in winter because it's off season so that you can't, you don't see lots of people in the street. So something like this. Okay. Well, but totally, that was really good. And now let's move on to the next part 3. So the first question, okay. Tell me, how do the different seasons affect the lifestyle of people in your country?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, how do the different seasons affect the lifestyle of people in your country?
Well, I as far as I know, um, well, I think that winter all in the end of the year, it's the time for people uh to start to start have a short holidays for after a whole year working or studying. So it's time for them to get back home and gathering with their family. So to me, it is more like chilly season, which everyone's like, and the rest of the year, I think it's like for time for working. Uh, and based on my knowledge, I divided year into two types. Uh, the time we have to work hard, the time that we have to work really hard, and the time can we can like settle down for a little bit for to before we can start the next year.
Yeah, of course. So you can divide this actually your answer into two parts for this question. So because you're going to talk about your two seasons that it's rain and dry. So when it's hot, of course, when it's rainy. So normally, so how to make your answer? For example, of course, as I know about your country, just Of course, I don't know about the weather, but I think because you have two seasons and it's rain and dry. So let's talk. So dividing an answer. So in actually maybe hot and maybe warm, when it's warm, okay, people enjoy the outdoors. So you can say people enjoy the outdoors when it's not rainy and it's actually warm. So you can say this one. And you can say just that was really good, but there is a point here about the grammar range for this. It's a bit difficult to show your grammar maybe range, how you know and what you know and how to use it. But here it's really important. So how to show it? For example, okay, past, no, maybe I can use get used to. How? Okay, I'm going to talk about sunny days or maybe rainy days. So I can say, it's something like because we have two seasons, that is rain season and dry season, especially in rain season, we are used to getting caught in the rain. So it's okay, just we put on our waterproofs and off we go. So you can say something like this. So this one, you can say, we're used to getting caught in the rain. That is really normal that you get stuck in the rain. You are on the street, and of course, suddenly it starts rain, so you get stuck or you get caught in the rain, okay? And we just wear or put on our waterproofs and off we go. Just do our regular thing, something like this, okay? And it's sunny, of course. People used to because they need to, for example, wear a mask and, for example, put on some breathable clothes in order to do the regular work and something like this. Okay, so you can divide it into two parts. That was really good, but it's better. And don't forget about maybe just one actually new structure. Don't use just only present simple or past simple. Of course, that's perfect and you get to score, but if you want to boost it, it's better to use different grammar and something like structures. So when it's warm, okay, people tend to, I don't know, take a picnic or go on a picnic. And for example, when they go out walking, cycling, or something like when it's chilly, so different words. When it's chilly, for example, people would rather go out and walk and something like this. Okay, well, but when it's a bit cold, maybe they're more likely to stop off at the cozy pub to drink or cafe for something to eat. So you can use this, you can say, so when it's a bit chilly, okay, so this one. Like, pub, that it's like, somewhere like a small restaurant that serves drinks and food, both of them. So why not? You can say something like this, especially when, I don't know, it's warm or it's a bit chilly so that people can't go for walking. Or when it's summer, of course, the most popular time for going to the beach. And of course, when sky is blue and we can see blue skies and something like this. Okay. And
Yeah.
now the next one, do you think people who live in cold places have different personalities to people who live in warm or hot places?
Um, uh, well, based on my experience, I do agree with that. I do agree with the statement because our personality as well as our attitudes, our moods can change towards the weather outside. So yeah, and I also find out that people who live in cold weather tend to be a little bit cold, elegant, and they don't care much about outside, while people live in hot weather tend to be more caring, um, caring, active, and I think they're a little bit more energetic, which is all the good thing. Uh, which is all the good thing. It's
Yeah, of
just the difference between personality.
course, very good. Well, so if I were you, I would say that was really good answer, perfect, and just I want to complete it. You know, that's something I've never considered, but now I come to think of. I come to think of it. So let's see. But I'm sure I do agree that, yeah, they do. From my experience, as you said, from my experience, people living, for example, in cold countries are fairly reserved and quiet, like serious. So they are fairly reserved. So, and I think, of course, from my experience, quite serious. So you can say something like this. And those who live in hot climates, on the other hand, they're more outgoing, friendly, full of life. They're full of life, outgoing, welcoming, friendly, outgoing. Okay, so you can say, and that's apart from, the most humid regions about where it's so hot and sticky. About humid, when it's so hot and sticky, because it's humid. So people just want to sit around and do nothing all day. Just sit, you see that, oh, people are really lazy here. No, the weather's sticky, climate sticky. So they don't tend to sit around, actually like do something to be active. Just sit around and do nothing all day. But as you said, of course, uh, yeah, I would have to agree, overall, but I think there are many other factors, maybe than temperature and the weather, that affect people's personalities, not only these factors. So this can be your answer. So I mentioned three, weather, and something like the first one, hot, cold, and humid. Okay, of course you can add some other words. It was just a sample. Well, okay. So it's your time. If you want to ask me any questions, I'm here to answer you. So is there any question related to the sport?
No, not really. I gained a lot of vocab today.
Okay, very good. Very good. So, okay, this topic is done and we discussed this topic in details. And I don't remember any other words to say. If I remember, I will tell you. Okay. Thank you so much. It was really good time with you again. And thank you for your perfect answers again. And have a
Yeah.
great, fruitful day.
Yeah, thanks for the lesson today. I gained a lot of things.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Goodbye. You too.